Welcome back to DXB Today, where we're helping you to invest in yourself through your brand. Elevate your elevator pitch. And on to our next guest, who is a leading negotiation expert with over 2 decades of experience in high-stakes deals. Known for helping leaders win negotiations while building strong relationships, guiding individuals and companies to their full potential. Please welcome to the show, Lousin Mehrabi. Lousin, thanks so much indeed for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Joining us.
It's a
And listen,
pleasure.
you know, you hear the word negotiator, and we've all seen the films. You know, Hollywood has given us this idea of what negotiation is all about, and it's usually high stakes, etc. But those skills, how can you transfer, or can you transfer those skills, which are obviously, you know, something you gain with experience and through life as well? How can you use those in everyday life?
Well, what we don't realize is that we all negotiate every single day. Life is one negotiation after another. Many people think they only negotiate when they have to negotiate for a salary, or when they're buying a car or selling a house. But the reality is, every single time there is a disagreement, where you want something and someone else wants something else, boom, you're in a negotiation.
I don't agree with that, though.
That's okay. Let's talk about it.
Well, everything really is a discussion, how you said, but negotiation seems quite intimidating to a lot of people. So how do we change our perspective and our approach to negotiation?
By changing our mindset about what negotiation is. Negotiation is not about convincing. Negotiation is not an ego game. Negotiation is not about being right. Negotiation is about influence. It's influencing behavior with the goal of coming to an agreement whenever there is a disagreement. So we negotiate when there's a disagreement, and we have the willingness to come to an agreement. Basically, it's a way to resolve conflict.
Yeah.
So what I love about negotiation is what I was taught. It has to be, you want to put it out there as a win-win, a perceived win-win, even for the other side, right? One of the things that I was taught was you have to have this element of empathy, you have to have logic and credibility. Can you talk us through all of those 3 elements to try to put forward a win-win?
Well, I'm really happy you say that, because I have a controversial view on all 4 of the elements
Okay.
you just said.
Good.
First of all, win-win, what is a win-win, right? And you rightfully said perceived win-win. I don't like the idea of people saying you need to go for the win-win, because what might be a win for you might be a total lose for me, while that might be perceived for you as a win. So the number 1 key is to understand what is my need, what is your need, and how can we satisfy our needs while respecting the other party's needs. That's one. Empathy, I love that you said that, because this word has been thrown around a lot, and empathy this and empathy that. But what is empathy really, and how can it actually work against you on a negotiation table? So empathy is this willingness to wanting to understand what matters to the other party. That's all great. But many people take it too far and go into compassion, where now not only I want to understand what matters to you, but I actually want to help you, and I want to help you so much that I forget about my own needs. And that then becomes a problem. We see it with the police force, for example, when one of the people that is on the field starts slipping into compassion, meaning feeling the desire to help the other party, they're being pulled out of the mission, because that becomes then dangerous. And we see it on the negotiation table all the time.
They
so
become
lack
too
of
soft.
empathy doesn't
Right.
work. Empathy, perfect. Compassion, be careful.
Yeah.
So interesting. That's such a fine line as well, isn't it? I'm interested to actually strip it a lot further back, and especially for anyone watching now, is some people are just not comfortable negotiating for anything, be it a situation at home, asking for salary. So what advice can you give them? Have you got a 3 top tips for how people can negotiate, I guess, a bit more comfortably?
Well, I can give 25,000 tips on how to negotiate
Well, let's
comfortably.
stick to 3.
But what's important is for people to ask themselves, why am I not comfortable? What is it in negotiation that makes me uncomfortable? Is it fear of rejection? Is it a lack of self-worth? Is it a lack of knowing what I want really? What is it that makes you uncomfortable? Because once you uncover those, there's nothing wrong or difficult or complicated or scary in negotiation. When you have this aim of saying, I negotiate for the aim of resolving conflict, it's actually beautiful.
So how would you go in to win a negotiation?
Well, the 3 W's I always say. Number 1, why? Ask yourself, why am I negotiating? What is the real need that I'm trying to satisfy here? And then also imagine always about the other party, why do you think they are negotiating? Okay? Then the second W is who. Who am I dealing with? People don't do enough homework of understanding who am I truly dealing with, what is their mindset, what is their language, how can I connect with them, how can I bond, how can I build relationship of trust so that we can go deep and far and resolve the conflict. And then the number 3 is what? What are we truly negotiating about? Because we've all had this situation where somebody comes to you, they say, I want A, you give them A, and they're not happy. So what happened there? It's we didn't dig enough to understand what do they truly need. A negotiation is satisfying the need and not the ask.
We've got 30 seconds left. Give us, is there one skill that sets one negotiator apart from others out there? Is there one skill that you need to work on to be a better negotiator?
Yes, the number 1 skill I always say is the capacity to remain calm, self-control. That is the most important skill, to be in crisis situations, remain calm, think logically, and come to solutions that satisfy all parties.
Don't lose it.
Don't lose.
Don't lose it.
That counts Tom out then.
Fantastic.
Lousin, I want to thank you so much for your time. I think we could sit here for hours.
For hours.
I
Yeah.
have still so many questions, but thank you so much for joining us, and I'm sure we'll have you back on the show.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank